Hello and welcome to the Filmspeak podcast. My name's Amanda.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Adam.
And this is our weekly conversation about movies. We are talking on the phone today because we have all been very busy and we're not able to actually meet up to record. So hopefully everything sounds okay. How is everyone's week?
Hey, who really cares if it does, huh?
Our listeners, hello.
I'm just
Me?
kidding. What's up?
I just asked how your guys' weeks were.
Oh, word. It was great. I'm just kidding. It was average, I guess, so far.
That's good.
Average is better than terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. I'm currently on the Letterboxd app, and for, the past, month and a half, for some reason, this new, Jackie movie with Natalie Portman, the cover makes me think that the J is an S. So I, thought of that movie as Selena or something.
Oh my gosh.
This is weird. But, forever. It just got me again. I was like, what is that movie called again? But it's you fucking Kennedy, not, anyone else. It's so dumb.
How was your week, Dave?
Well, my week was good. I went away on vacation for a weekend, which was fun. I never do that. Went to Deep Creek Lake in Maryland. It's out in by the mountains. It's a pretty cool place. It was fun. We had a fantasy baseball draft there, and that was cool. But yeah, it was cool. Then I had to go back to work, which was not cool. But,
Yep, baseball's back. So
yeah, baseball's back.
So base up your blockheads.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, my week is fine.
Oh yeah, how was your week?
It was okay. I am a little bit stressed because I have 2 exams tomorrow, and before this happened, I had a group project due and a paper due, and it's just been a lot all at the same time. But it's all going fine, and I think I spent 7 hours studying today, so I think the test will go well. Yeah, but besides that, I'm good. Did anyone watch anything good lately? Has anyone watched anything good lately?
I know out of it.
Yeah, I've been watching bunches of shit.
Honestly, me too.
Yeah, tons of shit. So much shit. Actually, no, for the first time this year, I've watched a bunch of quality films on purpose in a row. So that's been sort of nice. I'm not just watching fucking garbage horror movies. Yeah, I've been watched a handful of Paul Thomas Anderson movies. Who's somebody I love, but I'd never actually seen his first, which is Hard 8. That movie is blew me away. I was very shocked by how good it was, and only because you think movies like that, someone would have told me I had to seek out Hard 8. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's just maybe something that a lot of people don't even really think about. But it's really good. Philip Baker Hall is in it, and John C. Reilly, and a young Gwyneth Paltrow, and Samuel L. Jackson. They're the 4 main stars, and pretty much maybe even the main characters in the movie. I can't even think of anybody else, but it's really good. Just short, to the point, crime thriller, sort of comedic at times, but that's really good. And then I followed that up with the over 3-hour runtime epic Magnolia, which is also Paul Thomas Anderson, and that thing is something special. Sort of hard to recommend to people because the runtime is so insane, but Yeah, it's really good, and all the performances are good, and watching it from start to finish was something that I probably won't do again for a while, just because it's so long, but it was definitely like a good experience to just watch it from start to finish, because all of the like little like character flourishes and the story that like is moving around and that is all very like sort of like centered all around these specific characters in this day. Like it's all about like almost like the butterfly effect kind of thing, where like something happens at point A in your life that directly affects like what is currently going to happen to you. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's really good. And then I watched. What's up? Have you seen it?
I don't know if Dave was about to say something, but I was gonna say I haven't seen Magnolia, but that is something that I've been meaning to see for like a long time. But I do remember when I was little, my grandma has so many VHS tapes, but I remember there was a handful of them that always had the Magnolia preview on it. So I can like remember the trailer for it almost perfectly in my head, but I haven't actually like seen the movie. If I remember correctly, it may have been on like an Austin Powers VHS tape.
I mean, Austin Powers is like those came out what, like 96 to like 2000?
Something like that, yeah.
They were probably on like the second one or something, because it's from 1999. So
Okay, Spy Who Shagged Me makes sense because that was my favorite one.
Great movie. That's probably my favorite.
Fucking Heather Graham.
So good. Such a babe.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Magnolia is really something special. You are gonna freak out because your boy Tom Cruise is like one of the main actors.
Shit.
Like, he plays like can't really think of like a real life person to like actually compare him to, but he's like he's trying to like sell this like okay, the idea of like negging. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Of what?
Negging, where like you're like instead of like flirting with a girl, you throw her like disses, and that's the way to like win her over. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that stupid ass shit. He's like a character who like has that sort of mindset, but he like eventually is being interviewed by like like a woman, and he has to like live up to it. I don't know. It's like the most. I think it'll either completely make or break Tom Cruise for you, because you'll be like, oh, okay, this guy's like actually an amazing actor, or it's gonna just like drive you up a fucking wall. And I'm excited to see like what happens. So you should check that out.
Yeah, I definitely will.
The last one of his I watched was Inherent Vice, and holy shit, I love that movie. Like every time I've seen it, and like I've probably watched it like 5 or 6 times now since it's been out on Blu-ray. And I saw it in the theater, and I liked it okay, but it wasn't anything special. But on a rewatch, I realized like, oh shit, it's like very reminiscent of like other really good things, and like the story is actually like it's like kind of like hazy and like laid out a certain way, like on purpose, and every time I watch it I find like a new layer, like reveal of it, and just the performances are so like funny, and everyone's so like on their A game, but like playing such like ridiculous characters,
Yeah.
I don't know, I fucking love that movie, and it only gets better.
Is Inherent Vice the one where Joaquin Phoenix is drinking paint thinner, or is that The Master?
That's The Master.
Oh, okay, alright.
And that movie's amazing too, and that's also Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one since it was in theaters, but I really want to rewatch it.
But yeah, I watched some Robert Altman films the same way, where I just kind of like watched a couple in a row, and I had two that I'd never seen. One was Kansas City. The first one was Kansas City, and the second one was MASH. From two like actually like way far ends of his career, his like really long-standing career. I was like shocked when I realized that Kansas City came out in '96, because it just I mean, like, I guess it sort of should have made sense, because like there's like a young Jennifer Jason Leigh, and or Leigh, however you pronounce her name, and not Garrett Dillahunt. Who's there's like three of those guys with that same kind of name. Dermot Mulroney.
Oh yeah,
Dermot. He's in it, but like Harry Belafonte's in it as like a gangster, which is fun, and I don't know, it's just really good. It was really like very like submersive in. It's like a real, like, it puts you in that era, which is like the 30s, I want to say. It really puts you in that era. Like all the characters are like chewing scenery and like they're in on it, but like at the same time, his camera work is just so fucking genius that it feels like it's modern, you know? And he kind of does that like his whole career. Like The Long Goodbye feels that way, and The Player feels that way. Like there's a lot of his movies that feel sort of like from, like, not like timeless, but from another, I don't know, like not like other films, basically. He's very unique. But there's like a scene at the end of that movie where the character like gets like his stomach like cut up, and it's like one of the more like brutal, like gory scenes I've ever seen. Like literally just the dude's guts are just like in his hands. And he's like, and like Robert Altman's just got the camera like zooming in and out, and he's like on like just the guy's stomach, and he's like, I don't know, it almost like is like a B movie, like a B horror movie moment or something, but it's like a Robert fucking Altman movie. And I feel like I find that in like a lot of his films. He does, he like repeats that same, that kind of like ugliness, but in like a beautiful way kind of thing. He's like obsessed with showing that kind of stuff. But yeah, and MASH I never seen before, but I love Elliot Gould, and I love like those two working together especially. And that movie's really awesome. I sort of can't even like remember much of the dialogue, but it ultimately doesn't feel like any of the dialogue really even matters, because they're kind of just like, it puts you right in on like a random day at this like MASH unit, you know, like that are just helping out, and these people are trying to like live their normal lives because they're not like in the war, you know, like, so they have like their relationships on the side going, and you know, like they have like their own personal shit, but like they're in the middle of a war, you know. I don't know, it's very like jarring, but it was really good. I would recommend everyone see that if it's ever like right in front of your face. If you're not like seek it out, but if it's on cable or something.
Right in front of my face.
You know, I'm just saying.
Is it a movie that would translate well on TV? Like, would they edit a lot of things out? Is there like language?
No, I don't think so. I guess I just mean like I don't think it would be a movie that would suffer from like it's not like very foul language or anything.
Okay.
Much that like you would even notice had you just caught it on TV, but it's definitely like you know, potentially just something in the background type of movie, because like it's all just like a day in the life. It's not really right. It's not really like there's not like a big like plot to it, kind of. It's a very like intimate look at what's going on at this particular unit. Some other just quick shout outs. Rewatched The Force Awakens because Rogue One is coming out on Blu-ray on Tuesday, and I want to rewatch that also. That shit was really fun. like, again this time. I like that movie more and more every time because I'm not someone who is like a big Star Wars guy. I know that's like sacrilegious, but I just didn't have anyone like forcing it down my throat at a young enough age compared to like other stuff that like other movies or like entertainment that was getting forced fed to me at that point. Like fresh start for this universe to me, sort of. And it's fun to see like Oscar Isaac and Adam Driver like in a fucking Star Wars world. You know what I mean? For me, it's cool. But you guys already know about that movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen Rogue One yet, though.
Oh, no.
I definitely...
Yeah,
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, like, I definitely plan on seeing it. I just, like, haven't taken the plunge yet.
Yeah. I'll just talk about it more when I watch it again.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've only heard good things about it, so I'm, like, excited to see it. It's just something that I keep getting distracted with, like, other shit.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll give a shout out to A Simple Plan, The Gift, and For the Love of the Game. That's all 3 Sam Raimi movies. And actually, I'll just kind of brief over it at this moment because I would like to watch either The Gift or A Simple Plan at some point on this podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, those movies are awesome, and especially because baseball is back, go fucking watch For the Love of the Game. It's amazing. I was very like surprised by it. It's such like an interesting point of view for a baseball movie. There's like a bunch of romance shit in there that's but everything else is really good. And then I watched some music documentaries. Real quick, Gimme Danger, The Stooges, Supersonic, the Oasis documentary, and Don't You Wish That We Were... Don't You Wish That We Were Dead by The Damned. And all 3 of those were really, like, fucking interesting, and just, like... I'm not, like, a big Oasis fan, but the other 2, like, it's cool that those guys were making the music they were, but they were, like, also such... like unique characters, like it doesn't fit what they like their output was, but at the same time it's kind of like the beautiful thing behind all 3 of those acts, but they all had like quick rise and like a quick drop, like ironically like throughout all their careers, and Oasis like especially the most.
Yeah. And
that documentary does a great job of like. So it's just literally a roller coaster. Like it's like from point A to the end, point B, and like there's a fucking giant hill they climb, and then like immediately just came right back down. Like it's very, very crazy. Those are all like on Amazon Prime, so you can check those out. I definitely recommend too.
That's the one I probably want to see the most out of those 3.
Yeah, it's like 5 years too late. I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's still really good. Like, I mean, for obvious reasons, like, he is like the only one that's talking like currently.
Right.
So from a cinematic point of view, like, it's sort of subpar as far as like documentaries go, but only for content reasons, like, from that point of view. Like, could have not really in depth, I feel like, but it seemed like he just wanted to tell, like, he wanted to be, like, as inclusive of everybody as he could, and not really worry about the, like, outside politics and everything going on. And, I don't know, it's good. I recommend it. Just sort of a different watch than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, damn, like footage of them just like fucking going crazy, but like they're doing that, but like on stage. Like I thought it was going to be more about the background of their lives because like they were around in such an interesting era. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I watched some other like good stuff, but I watched Heathers for the first time. That was
for the first time.
Never seen it.
Oh
I've
man,
never seen it either.
Oh, dude, we should fucking watch it.
dude, Heather's is sick. That was
It's so good.
that was the last time I watched that movie. It was right after my ex and I broke up, and I was like, this fucking rules.
I mean, no one ever told me that movie is how it is. Like, I never knew that there were I don't know. I guess we won't spoil it, but we should watch it. Like, we should definitely do that over time.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody's pick, because you would love that movie, Dave.
Okay. I mean, I'm familiar with the premise of it. I just never have seen it.
Yeah.
But I will.
Well, what did you watch, Dave?
I watched the Gremlins 1 and 2 movies. Just rewatching those, and they came in a package with the movie Goonies, which I also rewatched. I'd seen Goonies a lot when I was a kid, and I'd seen Gremlins a lot. Gremlins 2, I had only watched one time, and there's a good reason for that, because it's not a very good movie. Yeah, it was not good. I mean, it broke the fourth wall too much. It wasn't even, like, good jokes or anything like that, but, yeah, it was just... It could have been so much better. It had Christopher Lee in it, but they made it too much for children, I think. And in the first one, I also noticed it too. It could have been a pretty decent horror movie, and it clearly wasn't made for kids. There's a part where the mom, throws a gremlin in a blender. She stabs one multiple times, and then she throws one in the microwave and microwaves it and it blows up. There's the whole scene about the, Santa Claus. There's no Santa Claus. That's not how you want your kid to find out there's no Santa Claus in a, movie about, you think it's about, Gizmo, and then they turn around and, it's not really kid friendly, I would think. Although I watched a lot of, fucked up shit when I was a kid too. But
you were very friendly as a kid.
Yeah, I just think that it was kind of like, looking back on it, like, it seemed like they kind of just latched onto Gizmo and turned him into something where, like, it shouldn't have been for kids. And the second movie was more geared towards kids. It wasn't as graphic, violently, and it was just kind of stupid. The premise could have been a lot better, especially with the, where the one guy starts drinking the genetic mutation stuff, and they all mutate and do different things, and it's like, instead of going like, oh, hey, this is, there are a couple scary ones, like the flying one and the spider one, but, for the most part, like, it was just like, hey, now I'm really smart, or I'm a salad gremlin. Just, it could have been scary. And again, Christopher Lee was wasted in it. But
man, I gotta watch it again. I guess I didn't realize like how like it doesn't hold up.
No, it could have
like the first one.
Seriously been like a legit like horror franchise where it could have been it's not unfeasible with the rules. You don't like, can he eat it? Like, what happens if he has food in his stomach after midnight? Does it have to just pass through? Does he have to digest it? Does it have? It's too much responsibility. How are you never going to get that motherfucker wet? He's probably gotta stink if you can't wash it.
I wonder like how many kids in the '80s tried to like say that they were like gremlin-like and that they didn't have to shower after that movie.
Yeah. Just how does that thing stay hydrated? You need water to live.
It just like eats like coconuts all day.
I can fuck with that.
Cactuses. I don't know.
It's just
because I've never watched Gremlins and been like, Like, what are the rules?
There are 3 rules. No water, no bright light, and you can't feed them after midnight. Not one of those things is, you have to, like, go out of your fucking way. Why would you give that to a kid? Like, you know, it's just like, Earth is doomed.
Fucking gremlins, man, taking over.
Yeah, just get your kid a fucking fish. No responsibility. You can put it all the water you want on it. You're supposed to keep it in water.
Yeah.
And
okay, wait. Am I wrong? The first Gremlins, like, the dad buys it from, like, some guy, right, and gives it to his kid? Is that the premise?
Well, the premise is that the dad buys it from the guy, or he tries to buy it from the guy, and the guy's like, no.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, not ready. And then, like,
his grandson,
right? Yeah, the assistant, or his kid, or whatever.
Yeah, he's like,
meet me out back. Get the fuck out of this thing.
No, he's like as old as his son is. Like I'll sell it to you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go buy an Atari. Fuck my dad.
Yeah, fuck out of here, Dad.
Yeah, an Atari and a ColecoVision.
Yeah.
Or no way, Television, Coleco. Yeah. All 3. You could have them all.
I've never seen Gremlins, but I'm glad I know everything about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that happens. The first one.
All good.
Yeah, definitely see the first one.
Okay.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a fun, like, when your mind is, like, altered or you're drunk, like, kind of movie, basically.
Alright, that's cool.
Because it's, like, hella stupid, and it doesn't, the dialogue doesn't really hold up, and there's a lot of, like, you know, there's a lot of weird, like, semi-racist stuff, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, it's 80s.
Yeah, I mean, it's not...
at times.
Yeah, also, there was some, you know, Goonies, too, was the same with, like, the character Data. Like, it was short rounds, essentially.
Yeah, Data literally, like, should have been pulling his eyes, like, to the side of his head, like,
it was just, like, it's hard to watch a little bit now, but...
But they, like, don't they say, like, the fucking F word and stuff, like, in Gremlins?
The fucking F word?
Well, fag is what I'm...
Oh, sorry.
I don't remember.
They say the freaking F word. No, it doesn't really matter. I feel like I watched, like, a movie or two like that recently, and I thought one of them was Gremlins. It was, like, it was so, like, fun, and then, like, they just, like, dropped that. I was like, oh, you just took me out of it.
Bill and Ted is one of those movies.
What?
Yeah.
Bull.
They hug?
Oh, no, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
We should watch those. We should definitely watch those movies sometime.
Okay.
I love those movies.
I'm beyond fine with it.
I've never seen them.
Amanda?
No.
Oh my god, you love them. Wild Stallions.
Yeah.
Wild with a Y.
Oh no.
No, it's so good.
Did you watch anything else?
Goonies.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that, again, there's one thing about Goonies that I would like to talk about, and that is there's a really bad part, editing-wise, and it's always bugged the shit out of me. There's a part at the very end where they're getting interviewed after they get the ship, and one of the reporters is like, what was the scariest part? And Data goes, the octopus was really scary. And every time I've seen it, it was a scene that they shot, and there is a version of it out there with that scene in it. But I've only seen it once on TV, and I saw it like halfway through, like I turned it on, and it was like at the very end, and it was part of it where it's like an octopus It's like, oh shit.
You saw like the white whale, but you literally saw.
I've seen it like one time.
You saw the end half of the whale.
It's like cinema Sasquatch.
That's crazy.
You would figure it would be on deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, but it's not. At least not in this package that I have.
No, dude, it probably doesn't fucking exist anymore.
I'm sure it does.
I mean,
he did that anniversary of Blu-ray, so, and I'm sure it's probably on that. If not, then it doesn't.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it was on like a different cut, or like a different country's version of the film, or something.
Maybe.
But maybe it was like released on as like a feature or something in a different country. But I've been hearing about that scene since I was like, 8 years old, and I like never heard anyone but you say they'd like seen it. So
it was on broadcast TV, which is weird because usually that's like chopped up. So
it's like how the hell did you even get that version of it? It's so odd because it wasn't released in theaters like that, right?
I didn't know because I saw it in the theater too, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't in there because that was when I was first like, what the octopus? I don't remember. Maybe he's like lying or exaggerating, but like there was so much other shit that he wouldn't have any reason to exaggerate. Like, you got fucking chased by gangsters through an underground cavern. You found a fucking pirate ship. You played an organ made of bones.
You befriended like a poor like man who's living in a fucking basement. It was like all fucking deformed. You saw a pirate ship in a cave right next to your house.
Yeah, and you're gonna be like,
shut up about the octopus, bro. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, the octopus happened too.
Yeah.
So that never made sense in my head. I need to find out if it has to be on like YouTube or something like that too. Yeah. What about you, Amanda? What did you watch?
What Goonies? What scene did you watch?
No. I have been watching a lot of trash lately. Last week I watched the entirety of the Scream TV show. And what?
At my recommendation.
Yeah, no, seriously. So I was really sad because Riverdale was on break for like 3 weeks and I just needed some like high school teen drama trash. And Fridley recommended Scream, so naturally I watched the whole thing in like less than 4 days. And it was like really something. That show was like god awful. Yeah, there was. There really. Also, the only thing I didn't even like make a full point, so I don't know why I just said also. But but they really were MTV just like really casts high schoolers as like fully developed adults. Like one of the characters, I believe his name's Kieran. He looks like really old, like really, really, really old. He's really good looking, but he looks like.
Is he the tall, like dark haired?
He is like. He's the one that the main girl gets with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He is old as dirt. Like he could be her dad.
Yeah. I'm like, who's this 46-year-old man sitting in the back of their history class? It's also.
I didn't like think about that.
Yeah, as soon as I saw him, like in the first episode, he did that like classic thing where like they introduce him as like the teacher is asking the class a question and she calls on the main girl and the main girl's like, oh, I don't know, and then he like pipes up from the back of the class and everyone like turns around and looks at him and he's just like this like good looking new guy and everyone's like, oh my god.
I'm just gonna talk about the show for an hour.
Also, it's like it drives me crazy that they're high schoolers, but for some reason they all just like love blackmail and like extortion. And, like, wow, bitch, you're like 45. There is one character that I really liked, though. She really didn't do a great job, like, acting, in my opinion, but her name was Brooke in the show, and I just think that girl was, like, super gorgeous, and I decided to look her up on Instagram, and she's actually engaged to, the lead singer of Foster the People, which I think is super crazy, but, what was I gonna say? Also, podcasting has a very big part in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the first season, it's like, what's her name? Piper. She is like a provocative podcaster, and I was like, same. And then, in the second season, it's like the nerdy kid is doing his own podcast. So I'm like, wow. That's pretty cool.
What is the nerdy kid doing in the first season? He works at, like, a video store, right?
Yeah, he works at some kind of video store that, like, nobody goes to, apparently.
Dude, no one is ever any fucking where anyone is, like, the cast is in this show, I feel like.
Yeah, no, seriously.
There's no one in this town.
Yeah. Yeah, that was... Also, the references in it are really crazy. What'd you say?
I said Riverdale sort of feels that way too.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes more sense because they're like mocking like a comic in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, isn't based on anything. Well, that's such a stupid thing to say, but
there's always people at the fucking diner, though.
That's true.
Yeah. Scream is definitely based on something. Also, I just realized.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm like 8 or 9 episodes into 13 Reasons Why, which is like a new Netflix series. But it's based off of... What?
Is it good?
Yeah. It's based off of a book that I read in middle school, and it's interesting that, like, this book takes place in a time where it wasn't social, like, in an age of social media, and it wasn't in an age where, like, everyone had an iPhone and, like a group text could be sent to, like, an entire high school, pretty much. But the Netflix show does a good job of, like, modernizing it, I guess. It's really, I mean, it's like dark matter, but it's pretty good. It's very high school, I will say, but it's interesting. One of the guys from Riverdale's in it, and I love him.
Oh yeah, like, who did you say?
Reggie, I think his name is.
Reggie.
He's like the hot cougar ass bro guy.
Hell yeah. Love that, bro.
Yeah, he plays pretty much the same guy. I love it.
He's gonna be doing that for a lot of years.
Honestly, good, because I'm not gonna get tired of it anytime soon.
High school forever.
Yeah. Besides that, I finally saw Get Out, and it was awesome, and I'm really glad that... I won't say too much about it, I don't want to get too into it right now, but I will say that I'm glad that I saw it in the theaters, and that I saw it on, like, it was like an 8 p.m. Saturday night show, and the theater was completely sold out.
Yeah.
And it was, like, a super reactionary audience, too, which, like, added to that experience. And I was really happy to see it. It was awesome. Would recommend it to everyone. Besides that, I'm caught up on Girls, and I finished Big Little Lies. And yeah, Big Little Lies was awesome.
Yeah,
I was
I'm a few weeks behind.
Oh, okay.
Ouch! It is really good.
Yeah, I won't say too much about it then, but I was honestly like, I knew that it was a mini-series, but for some reason when I was like on HBO Go and I saw like episode 7 series finale, I was like, holy shit, like this episode is gonna have to clear up a lot. And it did.
Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't until right now that it wasn't.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like ending.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And, yeah, and then Girls broke my heart. I watched the episode twice and cried both times.
Yeah,
Um,
holy shit. It's been brutal.
yeah, crazy. I may have said this before, I really don't remember, but I decided that, like, once it ends, I'm going to do a rewatch of that.
We should do a podcast.
Hell yeah, I'm down. But, but yeah, that's about it on my end. Well, I know a movie we all watched.
Which one?
Attack the Block!
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, fam.
Oh my god.
Come on. I was like, I was like jokingly googling "Attack the Block" translation,
Oh my god.
slang translation, and there was so many articles from when this movie came out. I'm like, guys, like, it's not that like, it's not that tough to kind of decode what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So silly.
I will say, like since we're talking about the slang and everything, I just think that it's like this is probably the most like British movie I've watched in a very long time. Like the British comedy sense of humor too in the movie is just like it was like overwhelming at first because I just like haven't watched a British movie in a really long time.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like it's its own thing. It's very
Oh
unique.
yeah,
Their humor.
definitely.
There's like little scenes like like the one. This is like random and like totally. I guess like we should be talking more about like the beginning, but like the one random scene where the rich white kid who's been just like hanging around like get buying weed on like that or like in the movie.
Right.
Him and the other like Shaun of the Dead guy are sitting there, and it's just like a shot of them on the couch, and like they're on it for like 30 seconds, and then they like exhale their weed smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Just like so like little stuff like that. I love like sort of like physical like British humor. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
So fun.
definitely. It's super distinctive.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy, Joe Wright, who wrote this movie, has like, I think this was the first movie he wrote, and it's the only movie he's directed. But he wrote Adventures of Tintin,
Okay.
which I didn't see, but I've heard that it's like definitely like worth checking out, and like there's a lot of like, good stuff in there. But he also wrote Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is like fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, Ant-Man's good.
It's definitely like the best as far as like comedic angle, like in any Marvel movie. I feel like Ant-Man really kills it. So like shout out to Joe Wright for just being like an awesome writer and writing like such a distinctive like British comedy movie in this, and then like flipping it with that. I guess like Adventures in Tintin is like such a good example too because it's like a comic strip he probably grew up reading. That he got to like make make something out of eventually. But yeah, what did you guys think? This was my movie this week, and I've seen this like a bunch of times. But
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, when you guys said you hadn't seen it, I was like really excited, and I was like, you.
Wait, what were you like?
I was like, you.
Wow.
I was like, get him, bro.
um, it was yeah, I mean, as you just said, it was my first time seeing it. I didn't realize that John Boyega was in anything else other than The Force Awakens. So I was like super surprised to see him, but also I really like him. So I was happy to just like see him in a not Star Wars atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, most of what I have to say, I feel like, is about the whole. It like ties into the whole like British humor topic, but like there is one scene in the beginning that I loved where it was actually like the very beginning scene where what's his name, Moses? Is that John Boyega's character?
Oh yeah.
Moses. So he gets attacked by like the first alien, and his friends just like immediately start making fun of him for like getting attacked. I just thought that was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
They were like, what'd they say? They like called the thing like a Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that too. Like just the jump on of like everybody fucking like just piles on when you slip up even like a little bit.
Yes.
Like when they're all sitting around and they're like they like finally make it in like their friend's apartment and like what's his name? John Boy Moses is like he's like saying that he thinks like the government, like they did with drugs and guns, like sent these things to like kill black boys, and their like one white friend is like yeah man, and then like everybody just like immediately like flips and like laughs on him, and like the scene just like the dynamic of the scene just changes like that, you know, like it's so good.
Yeah.
Just like written so smartly, and I love like it's so short, and like
I definitely loved how like the length of the movie. I feel like it was like the perfect. If it had been any longer, I would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
It was very like to the point, but also was what?
To tell you the truth, like rewatching it, I was even like like it's like an 88-minute runtime, but like there's even like a few things that could be trimmed from that even, you know, and it would still be like really good.
Yeah.
But it's still like I love it. I think it's oh shit. I think it's like very like unique like perspective, you know, and it's not something that you see every day. Like a bunch of like teenage kids from that part of the world like getting to be like your main focal point.
Yeah.
And like them telling like their politics through like their actions, and then like, you know, actually like to the camera basically, and sometimes too. It's cool.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And like how it starts with like an actual crime that they commit or like are all like witness to, but you have to then follow these like they're the main characters of the movie, you know, so you're sort of stuck with them. Even though you're like, I just watched them like rob this girl.
Yeah, it's a very like
know?
anti-hero type of thing.
Yeah, it's very weird though, because like then you just start to see that they're just like sort of normal kids, but does that change your mind or not? You know, I don't know. It's weird. But then like shit goes down, and it's basically like, well, I guess you don't want anyone but these kids on your side because, like, no one else is around trying to help you, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty weird situation. But, like, written so well, and it's just, like, it works. Like, it's such a fucking awesome movie because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, was this your first time seeing it, too?
Yeah, this is the first time I had seen it.
Nice.
I'd known, like, what it was about, but I just never gotten around to seeing it. I'm glad I watched it. There were a lot of things I liked about it. Again, it was hard to like root for the kids in the beginning just because of, you know, pulling a knife on a defenseless lady after they had her surrounded. Like they were clearly, you know, and they addressed it later. They were like, you know, it was just for intimidation purposes. They weren't actually going to stab her, and, you know. So they did like make sure they went back and, you know, like they even addressed like they were making like brash choices, and they even said that they didn't really like think about the consequences that much. So I mean, everything was addressed in that, you know, when you meet these kids, they're out there doing crimes and things like that, but by the end they're total heroes. You know, they have the whole support of the neighborhood. the girl that they even mugged is, you know, like defending them and things like that. So, you know, it's good. You know, it was cool. Everybody had growth in there. There was a lot of that. So, I mean, there's story progression, there's character progression. So it was good movie. I liked.
Yeah, there's some. It was good. I liked it. uh, I mean, I agree with you though. It's like, it's kind of like a forced maturity thing that's like put on these like group of kids or this group of kids, and it's kind of like a shift of responsibility because like before this happened, what were they really in charge of doing?
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, like, and they even show it like when this scene when like, you know, all they're like coming back from outside to try to like recoup after they get attacked. By the way, we should talk about how like this movie is basically like it's just some like rough and tumble kids like hanging out in their neighborhood, and all of a sudden like aliens, things like comets just start like coming attacking the ground.
Right.
And then basically these like giant, like all blacked out, like bear looking sort of like gorilla running creature type deals that are like really fast with these like crazy teeth just start like attacking their neighborhood, and they have to defend themselves. And that's like the premise of the movie. I guess it's weird this late in, but it makes sense because we're probably going to like talk about the aliens more, or like a little bit, you know, going forward. But
I do like that Pest got to make the jump before his leg got all chomped up.
Yeah,
that was good for him. Like,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's so cool because the movie like does that setup and then answer thing so often on like so many different levels, stakes, you know. But like it fulfills them all. Like that was so cool, you know. Just like the little moment from like earlier, you know, that when he's like, I can make this jump, and then like he's like forced to.
Yeah.
I love like that shot too when he jumps and you're like, hell yeah, my man, and then like right after the thing like fucking also jumps right behind him.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it's terrifying because then it's like right in the camera's face, like.
Yeah. No time for celebration.
Yeah. So weird. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was, I like that like they all of a sudden the kids have like all this responsibility, like, but like then like there's a scene where they're like recouping and then like going into their like houses, their like personal houses to get like all their weapons and shit.
Right. Yeah.
He has to like take out the dog. You know, it's like
Pogo.
Like, it like makes them like very, very humanizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
It's cool. And like, but it's also like such a nice reveal because you realize that like John Boy is just like living there, or Moses is just like living alone, like taking care of himself. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's such a smartly written movie. It's like a takeaway from mine. Like there are like a few problems I have with it, and like just the low like hysteria level that's basically going on while like, you know, tons of people are in this town and like they wouldn't have seen this thing and like they're not freaking out, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we're kind of only dealing with the kids trying to deal with it, but I don't know. That's like my one qualm watching it again. I was like, oh, I didn't realize how like glaring it is that no one else is fucking around at all, you know?
Yeah.
Except
I mean, they're all pretty much chasing after the kids. You know, it's not like they're going around. Like the kids have the pheromones on them.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But I
like
literally like other people. There just like isn't other like innocent bystanders like at all in this movie. And I
cops.
Yeah, I guess. But are they innocent though?
Well, we're not going to get into that.
I mean, but so you know, I'm joking, but that is sort of like that's sort of a question that like the answer, or like a question that the movie poses. You know, like,
yeah,
it is like that political, like, right at the end of the movie when they're like, well, I guess like it all makes sense because she like rats them out, or like she calls the cops in the beginning, and then like so they know to be looking for some kids, but at the end they like think Moses is to blame and that he's not. It's like it's a powerful moment, but not like fully. Some of the cops, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They thought whatever. Either way, but yeah, I love like all the relationships in this movie. Like the kids themselves are like such a cool little like gang when they're like just like being homies, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm so fucking jealous of that. And then they have like this cool fucking girl gang. Like
the girls were so cool.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, like that introduction scene with them, and they're like outside the tunnel, like Moses has like the first alien. He's like dragging it around, and like they're all just like, "What the fuck is that thing?" They're like making fun of him, like carrying this like weird ass like grody thing around, but they're also like smart, and they're not relying on any other male characters at all.
Yeah.
It's just like a mate or like fucking 15-year-old, 16-year-old, like whatever age they actually are in the movie, like that portrayal of just like some well-to-do teen girls is really fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I definitely love that.
Who would you recast? I know we don't have to like finish talking, but I need to think of it right now.
I've been trying to think of that while we were talking. I would probably recast. What's the girl's name who gets robbed?
I haven't. I looked it up earlier.
Is it Sam?
Yeah, Sam.
I think I would recast her, but I haven't decided with who yet. She kind of reminds me of a young Emily Mortimer.
Yeah, I'd see that. Her name was like Josie Whitaker or something. Forrest Whitaker's daughter.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the score also in this movie I like fucking loved. I realized that this time around.
Yeah.
I don't like necessarily love the music all the time, but I like the consistency of it. Sort of like it's not overused in my opinion, but there's like a ton of music. I don't know. I feel like it like makes scenes like work really well, kind of like builds tension well.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of tension in there, and like the one scene where it was Jerome in the fog where he gets separated. Yeah, like I thought he was going to get Velmed and lose his glasses, but just like having him on the ground, my glasses. That always happens. But yeah, I'm kind of glad it did.
I feel like I like that this movie's like a little smarter than that, though.
Yeah. But like I like that they didn't have a problem killing off the kids. Like the two that got it, and they got it fairly brutally. The one got hit.
The guy's fucking head like flies off. Like,
in the helmet.
I mean, it's amazing, and like the look on like the girls' faces who it flies by, like I noticed that this time around. I was like, holy shit! Like they just look like fucking devastated. Like, oh my god, so good. I love decapitation scenes. like a good decapitation scene. I mean, come on, what's better? But his head like flies across the room. Like it's so good. Anyway.
Also, big time shout out to Props and Mayhem.
Oh, fucking Props and Mayhem forever. That kid looks like young ass Don Cheadle. Like seriously, he looks like they have like the same like fucking eyes or something. Yeah, I love those kids. They're so funny. I love that like they're just like tag along fucking wannabes, you know.
Yeah.
They were so like the characters that like they do have in this movie is just so like vibrant. Like the like ridiculous drug dealer character, and then like
hi hat.
Like, yeah, and then like he's like listening to his own song the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I fucking love. Like just like I don't know. Like I can't remember the guy's name, but Nick Frost from like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead fame. Like him and that other guy hanging out, just like it's just so like typical. Like the two like white guys like sitting on the couch and watching TV, while like all this other shit is like going on in the world like around them directly. It's just funny. Yeah, I like that. I like that Nick Frost was in it for like comic relief. I think he's really funny.
Yeah, he was.
It makes me want to rewatch like the Edgar Wright movies with him, like Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
I've only out of those, I've only seen Shaun of the Dead, but that one's really awesome.
Yeah, that's probably the best of the three, but the other two are like super interesting. Like there really aren't movies like that I can think of that are like that.
Yeah.
Kind of. No, they're very very unique to that guy. He's something special. Edgar Wright. But this guy is like Edgar Wright sort of like he came up like under his wing basically. Like Edgar Wright I think like helped him a lot with this movie, like helped him get it made and stuff. Which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have people you would recast?
I can't think of anybody that I would actually recast anybody in the movie with. But I think everybody did a good enough job.
Well, I guess it doesn't work because he's not British. Well, you know what? Okay, my original thought was like the stoner kid. He could be played by
Dave Franco.
Well, I just had someone that was like super good. Damn it! I lost. But I think Chris O'Dowd would be like a fun person to see in this movie. That guy from like Girls and Bridesmaids and the IT Crowd. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Cop and Bridesmaids.
Yeah, but I thought of someone. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, I thought of like an American actor to play that kid, and it was perfect, but I can't fucking think of it. But does anyone else need to recast though?
I can't think of a girl to recast Sam with.
The kid from like the guy from Silicon Valley is what I was thinking of.
Which one?
Little Ditch, yeah. He would be awesome in this movie, like as like the chum, like the like comic relief chum with Nick Frost.
Wasn't he in Cabin in the Woods?
Mm-mm.
Who was that?
There's a character that is sort of like him in that movie, but no. Cabin in the Woods would be a fun one to do on this spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
I'm fine with that.
Any other like thoughts?
I'm pretty much out of them.
Or,
You, Dave?
I'm glad you got to watch this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we watched this too, because I probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise, because I completely did not hear about this movie until you brought it up a couple weeks ago.
I mean, when it came out in 2011, I was like one of like two people I knew who were like freaking out about it. So
yeah,
it wasn't very popular then, and it, I mean, people know it. It's not like I'm referencing some like super obscure movie, or like how to watch like something incredibly obscure. But yeah, it kind of just got dumped and like didn't. Like it was word of mouth type of thing, but I've been a fan of it since it came out.
Nice.
Love it. It was fun to rewatch it. It's been probably like probably like at least 2 years.
Oh wow.
More, you know. But when I got the Blu-ray originally, I watched it like fucking 10 times because I just showed it to like all of my friends, and like it's a really fun movie to watch with like a group of people because there's like just there's so much going on, but then also it's kind of also the kind of movie you can tune out to and still know totally what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It works like all around. I really like this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's
I
definitely.
really see like what this guy will do in the future with like maybe like a bigger budget.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them. I mean, I actually didn't do much research on like the writer or the director, but I would be interested to see anything else they come out with.
Yeah, his name is Joe Cornish.
Right. Well, did either of you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I think we covered all the bases.
My Clamato juice is warm.
All right.
So I'll see you guys.
What?
I'm just kidding. No, I guess.
Alright, well, that wraps it up for this episode of Filmspeak. If you like what you've been hearing, make sure you check us out on social media. We are on Instagram at Filmspeak, Twitter at FilmspeakPod. We have a Facebook page, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, and we're on iTunes. Hope you have a good week.
Shout out to Edwin.
Shout out to Edwin. Yeah. Love you, Edwin.
Yeah, Edwin.
Yo, you scratching them DJ keys, you the man.
Yeah, also making the best cookies I've ever had in my life. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Adios. Have a good week, y'all.
Let's live, fam. Peace, bro.
Later, bro.